Canadians, and my name is Josh A.K.L. Player, and I am your coach of the West Virginia Miniors. What is going on, everyone? Welcome one and all to National Pokeball League Minors Division Season number 6. This is going to be my draft analysis for this season as we head to what is possibly the first championship that I may get outside of the New York Metagross. So, fingers crossed. By the way, everyone here is gay, according to my little sister, who can hear me in the room above me. So, I hate for you to find out this way, but unfortunately, that's how life works. So, let us jump right in to my draft analysis. For this season, we were given 125 points to draft. I believe it was 9 to 12 Mons for the draft that will take us, hopefully, to the championship. So, I'm really excited for the team. This team is definitely one of, not really my favorites, but definitely one of the more solid ones that I think I've drafted in a while. So, I'm really happy to show it to you guys. So, if you are ready, let us jump right in, and hopefully, we will succeed in our first championship. I want a championship. Like, I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying it, but I want a championship outside of the New York Metagross. I have 6 championships, and they're all under NYM. None of them are under Philly Soldew. None of them are under West Virginia Miniors. Oh, by the way, shout out to the orange West Virginia Miniors logo. Shout out to Bill Standish. He's amazing. But let's jump right into our draft analysis. Like I said, we were given 125 points, and immediately, like, I think I was getting a really early draft. I don't remember what draft pick I was given because the draft was like forever ago. But I knew there was one mon I wanted because there was a couple mons that I knew that might be on my radar. But this specific mon that I really wanted to use because it's a showdown league, obviously. National Pokeball League has always been a showdown league. So the one mon that I really think that I wanted was something that is harder for me to use in Wi-Fi. So there are certain mons that some I know more than others, but there are usually certain mons that I don't like using on Wi-Fi, and one of them is mons that get return. And now, because of the IBL, Hoopa Unbound and Kyurem Black are on that list. But like I said, mons that new return are typically mons that I've tried to stay away from on Wi-Fi because I don't gen and I don't really have the time or patience to go through and fix the happiness on Pokemon. So mons that are really good at spamming return, I typically like to keep on the showdown side of things. And with NPL returning, there was one mon that I wanted to use that I haven't used in a while, so I was super excited to get. So let us jump right in. So the first mon on the West Virginia Miniors for NPL Minor Season 6 is going to be my Mega Lopunny. I love Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny is ridiculous. It's one of the best revenge killers in the game. It has a crazy high attack, crazy high speed. It does not a lot of different things, but if you know how to use it, it can do a couple of different things other than just come in and click return and watch things die. First of all, this is going to be female and Velvet. I feel like as people have gotten better with Draft League, it's gotten a little bit more versatile. Typically, you used to just see Fake Out, Return, High Jump Kick, Ice, Fire, Thunder Punch, Quick Attack, maybe something else. But I feel like Mega Lopunny is finally getting, more diverse movesets as people have gotten better with it. Stuff like Encore is becoming more and more popular. Like, I can see Healing Wish immediately on here. Drain Punch is becoming more popular than High Jump Kick because it doesn't need it. Power Punch is becoming popular. It has these options. Unresisted Stab is really nice. Like, I know one problem I also have typically when I make drafts and then I panic at with later in drafts is speed. So being able to just start off with this crazy fast Pokemon is just really nice. I love Mega Lopunny. I will always love Mega Lopunny, and hopefully I can do with it what I did when I first drafted it and get 20 kills. So yeah, I started off this draft with Mega Lopunny, and I kind of already knew like the direction I wanted to take. I should probably have somewhere a notepad of my full draft. Let me look that up real quick. I already know the first couple of months. If you can't tell, I'm getting over a sickness, so that's fun. But I already knew a couple, like, a decent idea of what I wanted to do with this draft. Like, let me make it clear that I wanted to win. Alright? I drafted this team with the intent of winning. I drafted a little bit less of a fun team for me. There are certain times that I draft teams that are just so much fun and I just enjoy looking at and playing with. Like, basically, my MLP team is a good one. My EPA team, which you can't see yet, is a really good one that I have a lot of fun with. I like this team a lot. It doesn't exude fun for me, but like, you'll see why. It's, spoiler, it's basic bitch. It's a basic bitch team. But, okay. Got that up. But I still think it's really, really, cool team and everything. So the next one we drafted. If you've been around on my channel for a while, I want you to, I don't want you to judge me. So, the second Mon we drafted, when it got back to me in round 2, you know, there was a certain Pokemon that was just, like, sitting around that I thought, you know, this might be a really good Pokemon. You know, I like this Pokemon. I think this is a good Pokemon that I could use really well. So we drafted it again. I'm not going to make the joke this time, because last time I made a joke, you know, I mean, it came true, but, like, moving forward. So we have Hydreigon. Like, I wanted a little bit of Volturn. I don't think I ended up getting too much Volturn, but, like, I grabbed Hydreigon just because, like, I'm so good with it. Like, I love using Hydreigon. I think I do really good work with it. I'm one of the people who hates Scarf. I think it's so versatile. Like, I think people can do so much work with Hydreigon, and people just, like, throw Scarfs on it and call it a day. And I love doing Hydreigon justice. I think it provides so much to the team. It gives me a U-turn. It does give me a Choice Scarfer, okay? But it gives me a Stall Breaker. It gives me a Breaker. It gives me, like, a Breaker in general with, like, Specs Dark Pulse. It gives me, you know, a good Life Orb user, Gatond. It gives me a Defogger. It gives me a potential Z Crystal user. It gives me something that can run Physical Special. It can even run a bulky set. Like, it can run so much, and people feel like people just sleep on Hydreigon way too much. So, you know, we drafted Hydreigon. I know, I don't use versatility in my draft, but I've used, like, 8 million Pokemon, so. We drafted Hydreigon again. Don't judge me. Or do, screw you. So, the next one we drafted, I know I wanted, at this point, I knew that I did not want to pass up hazards. Another thing that I always do really bad with when drafting is I forget to get hazards, and I end up with pretty poor hazard setters or very few hazard setters. So I knew that I wanted a very reliable hazard setter. I wanted spikes. I wanted some bulk. I drafted, with the guidance of the front office, I drafted Fetathon. So, Body Pillow. Your name is Body Pillow. Now. Oh, so we have Ferrothorn, and Ferrothorn is just so much fun. Like, I like Ferrothorn. It's sometimes hard for me to get over that 4x weakness, because, like, everything can run Hidden Power Fire. But other than that, like, it's a good Pokemon. It's a great hazard setter. It's good for clicking Leech Seed and being some obnoxious-ass Pokemon. It can actually be a little bit versatile, you know, if you want to be the crazy people that runs Choice Banded Gyro Ball. But it has a strong Gyro Ball. It has, it's mainly for hazards. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I mainly drafted Ferrothorn for the hazard support. Being able to put up hazards against a lot of things. Being able to, I click Knockoff is a really good one. To be able to have a reliable knockoff setter that isn't the first knockoff setter you think of. Like, I like Mons that don't get a lot out of knockoff other than just getting rid of the item, which is a weird thing to say. It says, typically you see knockoff carried for a combination of its stab, so stuff like Crocodile likes to click knockoff, and stuff like fighting types, which use it for coverage. I feel like it's really good on monsters like Ferrothorn or Clefable, where, you know, you don't really get anything out of it other than just the support of getting rid of items. And because of that, I feel like people prep for it a little bit less. So it's nice to have that support. I really think I worded that weirdly, but I don't care. So, we have a Ferrothorn, and it clicks Stealth Rock, and you cuddle it at night. Moving forward, don't judge me. So at this point, my steel type just went to a Ferrothorn, which, you know, can switch in on fairies really well to a decent extent. It can get him power fired, but the thing about fat fairies is they're typically kind of slow, so Gyro Ball won't always do crazy amounts of damage to him. Don't get me wrong, they'll do damage to him, but it's not exactly that premier fairy killer that, you know, you see around. And looking at this team so far, like, I definitely would love to have something that pressures the hell out of fairies. So, you know, the front office and I decided on a lot of stuff. I put out a couple mons that I knew I wanted later on in the draft, and I knew that I knew a couple mons that I wanted later on in the draft, but based on some of the ideas that we were having, I knew there was one specific fairy killer that I thought would be the best. Like, we tossed around stuff like Nidoqueen, we tossed around Escavalier was a good one that we tossed around as a second steel type, but I think the one that I wanted the most, which I ended up getting, also gave me another hazard setter. And while this isn't the best hazard setter, I mean, it could do it if it needed to. So I drafted Nidoking, which is really, really fun, because I always like, you know, I love me some fairy killers. But Nidoking is really, really good. I believe I named you Oz. Did I name you Oz? Like, King of Remnant? I should have just named everything after Ruby stuff. Oops. But you know, Nidoking is a really good wall breaker with Sheer Force Life Orb. Very good coverage, stuff like Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Dragon Pulse. Hello? What? You get Dragon Pulse? What the hell? But it's one of those TM mons, you know. It learned just about every TM you could think of, and because of that, ended up with a, you know, a large variety. It can even go physical, it can go special. It can run Choice Scarf, it can run, like I said, Star's Rock. It does have access to T-Spikes, although it is not as good a T-Spike setter as Nidoqueen. It still can do it. And it's mainly here to be a fairy killer. It's another fairy resist, which is good. It's also a good ground type, which is good for helping me take on electrics, which, honestly, at this point, not really needed, because electrics ain't doing crap. I have no weaknesses and 2 resistances and an immunity, so I just noticed that. So it's really good for switching on fairies. It's mainly here to pressure fairies, be a wall breaker to help support stuff like Hydreigon and Megalopony. But overall, I just love having Nidoking. I have not used Nidoking in a long, long time, and I'm just excited to be able to click buttons and then just watch people struggle. Well, you'll see why, like, sometimes anyway. But anyway, Nidoking is here. It's not a good Z-Crystal user. I just thought about saying something about Z-Crystals for some reason, and I just realized that Nidoking is quite possibly one of the worst Z-Crystal users in the game. I think Nidoking should never be a Z-Crystal user just because of how much better Sheer Force Life Orb is. Moving forward. Oh my god. Moving forward, next mon we drafted, I wanted hazard removal. I wanted to make sure that I got hazard removal. And I actually ended up getting a lot of it, but I knew I wanted another one that would take the pressure off of Hydreigon, because right now, I do not like having my only remover being Hydreigon. I've dealt with Hydreigon plus Torn being my only hazard removals, and it was not fun. Okay, the team was really fun, but, like, it wasn't the greatest idea. So we drafted Rotom Heat. And I'm going to go ahead and spoil you now. Hydreigon is not a Z-Crystal user in this. I know how much better Hydreigon can be with Z-Crystals, but I also know how good it can be without it. So, we have here... what did I call you? I called you Brooklyn. Brooklyn Rotom. Shout out to Omar. And this is going to be my first Z-Crystal user. You know, Rotom does decently well with having Z-Crystals, just being able to click that, you know, Inferno or Overdrive, mainly. The reason I have this over anything else is something I'll get into later. It was either this or one other mon. I already knew the other Z-Crystal user or users I wanted. So, by this point, it was just either this or another mon we'll get into... Is it next? Is it the next mon I drafted, or is it a couple down the road? The next mon I drafted, okay. But anyway, Rotom Heat is good as it gives me that electric type. It gives me a nice fire resist. It gives me a good ground resist, unless your name is Zygarde, which, LOL. Hopefully we don't fight Zygarde. Anyway, so Rotom Heat is really nice as just a second Volt Turner. I do like having 2 Volt Turners on this team with Megalopony, just being able to bring it in and click, you know, show up and just click return, high jump kick, and just throw shit out. It's a good pivot, honestly, and it definitely helps support the kind of route that I'm going with this specific team, being, you know, bulky offense, my standard Josh team. It has Hydreigon and it's bulky offense. Congratulations, I freaking nailed it. And it has spikes, so I really freaking nailed it. But Rotom Heat, not a versatile mon. Like, once again, like, I'm drafting a couple mon that aren't crazy versatile. Like, Lopunny, you know what's gonna do. It's gonna be fast and it's gonna kill shit. Rotom Heat, you know what's gonna do. He's gonna have Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Overheat, Hidden Power, Pain Split, Defog. Generally, that's it. While it does get a couple other options other than just that, it typically is not the most versatile, but it does what it does pretty well. It's a good pivot. It has nice reason. Woo! It does what it does well. It's a good flying resist, and I think more than anything, I wanted this as a flying resist because when you look at the end product of my team, like, I needed this as a bird. Like, I needed this for birds. So, really, really happy with it overall. It's also a hazard spreader. I love spreading, not hazard spreader. Fuck me. Damn it. Words, math, English, potato, status is the word I'm looking for. It's a good status spreader. Getting all three, Wisp, Thunder Wave, and Toxic. Being able to spread status sometimes can literally just be game-changing moments. So I'm glad to have that on my team as well. But overall, Rotom. Nice pick in my opinion. But the other mod that we were kind of tossing up could be a Z Crystal user other than Rotom. And basically, I was the only person who voted for this in the front office. Everyone else said Rotom. I think this is a good Z Crystal user, but we're going to go with it. Slowking. Pantsless. Man has no pants. And if you understand why I call it pantsless, then good for you. Because no one else does. Other than the fact that it doesn't wear pants. Like, obviously it doesn't wear pants. But there's another reason. Shout out to you if you get the reference. But we have Slowking. And I think for no other reason we drafted Slowking than for the reason Slowbro got taken. So, literally no other reason Slowbro got taken. Otherwise this would definitely be Slowbro. Because I wanted the physical bulk more than the special bulk. But, whew. Slowking is really, really nice. I need to speed this up. Woo! It's time for me to go to work. Slowking is really nice because of the pairing it has with the Ferrothorn. So obviously it resists fire and fighting and stuff like electric and grass that it tweaks to. Ferrothorn resists. But most of all, the reason why I wanted this, while I do have fire resist, which helps support Ferrothorn, the one that I really like is Slowking because I think it was E-Rob who pointed this out. Shout out to E-Rob. If I'm scared of Hidden Power Fire on something, I can use Slowking to pivot in and scout it. Scout for Hidden Power Fire. Because I'm not going to take anything from it, and I can just regenerate it all off. So Slowking is really nice. But with this team that I have, and how I have bulk options just about everywhere, Slowking is also a really nice potential offensive threat. Just because, you know, it gets really good coverage. It can run Trick Room, it can run Nasty Plot. It can run Calm Mind if I really want to, and then just standard offensive assault vest sets. So Slowking's really, really nice. I really, really like it. I really, really like saying really, really. So get over it. So Slowking is going to be one of my bulk. It's actually going to be one of my bulky waters. We'll get into that later, but we have Slowking here, and I'm a fan. I know I just got done using it, but I'm going to use it again because while it was my first time using Slowking, it was a very nice time using Slowking. Gives me just great support. Like, so far, I love the way the team looks. But fair warning, the team, not the next pick. I don't think the next pick makes it ratchet, but like, I feel like the team, as you get deeper and deeper into the team, it just gets kind of ratchet. And I like it. So the next mon we drafted, a mon that I really want. I knew from the beginning I wanted this Pokemon. And at this point, I don't think I could have waited any longer. I was afraid of getting sniped. And I love me this Pokemon. I love me using this Pokemon almost as much as I like using Hydreigon. I'd never used it for a full season. The one partial season that I did use it for, it was an offensive monster. Your boy drafted Mimikyu. That's Mime Jr. You know what? We drafted Mime Jr. I'm using this as my next meme. Shout out. Just Someone remind me to draft Mime Jr. Thanks. We're drafting Mimikyu. I'm not going to go with Peekaboo again. If you remember from my UAPB Season 2 run, I named it Peekaboo before Dan did, so on you, Dan. But I want to name it Wannabe. Because, well, if you know Mimikyu, yeah. Now I'm sad. Every time I name it Wannabe, I'm just like, man, I'm such an asshole. You know what? Screw it, I'm an asshole. Mimikyu, there's not much to say about Mimikyu, other than, first of all, yeah. I love Z Mimikyu. I love Z Mimikyu. I live for it. Mimikyu, there's not much to say about it, because when you think of Mimikyu, while there is slightly other options, like other coverage moves, and, you know, very little other that he can do, when you think Mimikyu, you know, a couple of moves come to mind. It does a certain set really, really well. I said it in UAPB Season 2. I'm going to say it here. If I run this 10 times, 9 times out of those 10, you will see those 4 moves on this Pokemon. I will tell every opponent I have right now, if you're afraid that I bring something weird on Mimikyu, don't be. I love this set. I think it is ridiculously good because of Disguise. Some people sleep on Mimikyu. I think those people are dumb. This is, without a doubt, my favorite setup sweeper in the entirety of the game. It is so stupid good for people who don't prep for it. Actually, I've used it one other time. It was a League War, and I used one other set. The dude had not a lot of good ghost resists, and when he did, I could wear down. And instead of Bliss, I ran this, and I ran it against an Arcanine, and I ran like Ghostium, and it was the greatest set that I've ever come up with. I know it's a basic set, but like I was just like a aggressive playing Salt like jackass. Like, if you've ever seen me play, like, really aggressively, I'm a giant asshole. Like, I make super unnecessary plays for no other reason than, haha, I predicted you. But basically, I SD'd up as he went into Arcanine, and when he went for Wisp, I clicked Taunt, and then I SD'd up again, and then because I was EV2 live any hit, I SD'd up again and went +6 and Shadow Sneaked everything to death. And it was great. But anyway, just expect this set a lot. Wait. Just expect this set a lot. I will tell everyone right now. If you face me, just expect this set. There might be some deviation, but expect this set. It's the GOAT. It is amazing Pokemon. Next, after this is where we start getting a little bit of ratchet. So, this is one mon that I've actually not drafted before. This is, I think, the only Pokemon on this. Actually, there's one more. Actually, there's 3. There's 3 Pokemon on this team that I've not drafted before. Look at me branching out. If you watched CBA before I stopped recording it, you know how hard it is for me to draft new mons. But I drafted a second ground, and people know me that I hate drafting secondary type or multiple typings because like it gives me anxiety. But I also drafted a second water type, and I grabbed my boy Pert because I wanted another good physical mon because I couldn't get Slowbro. So Pert, what did I name you? What did I name you? I named you something. Let me see here. Yeah, you can't see that. Oh, I forgot I had the logos up there. Look at me being all cute. I named you... Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember what I named you. Nah, because I couldn't think of a name. And I just went something stupid. And I named you, like... So, Swalow's really good. It gives me another Rock Setter, which is really, really good. Because so far I'm looking to have decent, like pretty decent at worst Rock Setter. Swampert, you know, Ferrothorn. And then even Nidoking isn't the worst. So it's really nice. Swampert. I like Swampert. I have never used it, but I'm excited to use it. Because it has really good bulk, and it has decent attacking stats. To the point where you could do something like what Monotui did and run Choice Scarf Pert, because Monotui was a savage asshole. He wasn't an asshole. He was savage. That was a savage set. I will never forget the time that he ran Choice Scarf Adamant Swampert. Or Jolly. Moving forward. Swampert's a great Pokemon. Good attack stat, great bulk, good Rock Setter. Only one weakness, Grass, which I have phenomenal resist to in Ferrothorn, and which Ferrothorn, you know, main weakness Fire, I can also switch into. So, but I have Ferrothorn, I have Rotom, I have at least one other. I have one other resist. But anyway, you know, it does its job well. It's it's another one of those Pokemon that typically you don't see too much deviation from its standard, you know, standard set. You see you see this, you see one of these, see a little bit of that, and then you see maybe that, or you see, you know, one of those, or sometimes you see something like this. You don't see too much deviation from it, but it does its job really, really well. Like, I feel this is one of my least, like, lesser viable, like, versatile team, but I feel like everything just does their job so well. Like, BBQ, what does it do? It sets up and it kills stuff. Megalopony, what does it do? It comes in and it's fast and it kills stuff. Ferrothorn, what does it do? It comes in and wall stuff and dies to and power fire. Like, they all do typically the same thing every single week, but they just do so good a job together, and the team overall just meshes pretty well together. So, while I'm not swimming in versatility like some of my other drafts, I'm doing really well with what I have. So, Swampert there. I also wanted, another secondary typing I wanted was another fairy type. I definitely want another fairy type because if you think that Mimikyu is a good defensive fairy, I think you're doing steroids. Not steroids. I don't think you're doing steroids. I think you're doing meth. You're doing meth if you think Mimikyu is a good defensive fairy. In very, very few good matchups, maybe it could run something like an Assault Vest or something. But no. So I wanted a better fairy, like I wanted a more of a bulky fairy type to help me take on dragons because LOL, my dragon resists. It's this, which dies to fire moves, which dragon types like flamethrower, and then this, which I'll give it to you, you know. Disguise means you always get that player off, but let's get into my other fairy type, which is gonna be Togekiss. I haven't used Togekiss in a while. What did I name you? I named you, what did I name you? Let me see. Do I have a nickname for you? Yeah. Okay, I remember. I was making a team, and I said, little shit, name me this Pokemon. She said, Flufly. So that's what it's named. Congratulations, hashtag little shit. I wait for her to text me. Because she can still hear me. Because the ceiling is super thin. She's not texting me. What a bitch. I kid, of course. But you know, Togekiss is really good at what it does. It's another defogger, which I'm really happy about, having a third defogger already. And all three defoggers are pretty good at clicking defog. You know, how could you be bad at clicking defog? You can be a Mega Pidgeot, that's how. But you know, Togekiss is really good. It's actually one of the more versatile mons on this team because it can run like bulky support sets. It can run just Thunder Wave, Air Slash. I can be that asshole. More status. Look at all this Thunder Wave. Call me Matt O'Shea. So, it can run Choice Scarf. It can run Nasty Plot. It can run, you know, maybe like an Assault Vest. But it's another good defogger. It's a good dragon answer. And just an overall good fairy. I mainly drafted it so I could have a good fairy. And, of course, defog. So, very happy with that. It also helps me weaken down steel types, which is really, really cool for stuff like Mimikyu. So, Fairy Spam could be a potential set that team that I bring. But overall, I'm going to start going a little bit faster with these last three, because these last three aren't too much to go on about, and I have to get ready for work. So, the next one we drafted, which one did we draft first? Wait, no, come back. I'm unprepared and I'm unprofessional, but you will like me anyway. It's okay. Okay, so we drafted that one first. Alright, so I wanted to fill in some of my speed gaps. So speed gap was definitely, I think, the biggest issue of the team right this second, because my team currently is 135, 98, 20, 85, 86, 30, 96, 60, and 80. So I have that speed gap of 98 to 135, and honestly, I didn't think we had a lot to fix it. So, oh, there's a school bus outside my house. That's cool. Thanks for that noise. So I definitely wanted to fill in that speed gap, and I knew I'd only have one mon to do it, so I think a good mon that would fit that bill with the points I had was Lycanroc. And I don't know what I'm calling you. Are you blue when you turn shiny? Screw it. Alright, cool. I'm going to call you Blue Moon too, just like my Lycanroc Dusk. So you're Blue Moon. And, you know, it's not as good as Lycanroc Dusk in my opinion, but it does have stuff like Sand Rush. So if you get Stand Up, it can be really, really fast. But still, Stone Edge is super strong. Stone Edge is just ridiculous, especially something this fast. I like this fast rock type. I wish we had more fast rock types. But SL Rock is a good priority, maybe gives you a potential good hazard lead. So I do have good hazard setters and stuff like Swampert and Ferrothorn and Nidoking. But this is probably the best offensive one for our offensive-based team. Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, Celerock, Taunt, Endeavor. Really good, and it also has coverage moves to run offensive stats. Maybe SD, maybe Choice Band, Crunch, Fire Fangs, and Headbutt. You know, the works. Decent Mon. I don't think to bring it a lot, but it's there as a potential bring. Next, I wanted, I think I had enough point, with the amount of points that I had left, because obviously, look at all these good Mons that I'm going to be wearing down on points very soon. But I only had like 6 points left, and I knew one Mon that I saw in the lower tiers that I thought would be a good pick, because I do not have any spinners. While I do have 3 defoggers, I don't have a spinner, and I also don't have, actually I do have a fighting type. Well, you already know what I'm getting now. What? Come on, there you go. Hitmonchan, I don't know what I'm calling you. Whack, your name is Whack. Whack. Now hold on, I know what I'm gonna call you. Yep. There we go. Billy Punchy Face. So Hitmonchan's a nice assault vest user. Again, fit in that nice bulky offense thing that we're going with. And it's also good for fighting spam. So, like, I have a couple different options when it comes to, like, type spam on this team. For, like, little archetypes I can use for certain weeks. And, you know, I like it. Like, I like having the type spam option. Hitmonchan, you know, really good physical, not really good, but like a decent physical offensive threat to certain teams that don't have the greatest fire answers, especially with Iron Fist boosted Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, etc. It does decently well. It's here as a rapid spinner, it's there as like a late draft support mon, and specifically it would leave me with 1 point left. I don't have a lot to say on Hitmonchan. It's not the greatest mon, but like it's here. So for the last mon, I had 1 point left. We all know what happens when you have 1 point left. You get the memes. So there, I decided very early on what I wanted for my meme. Because I don't see it drafted all too often. And by God, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring it and I'm going to do shit with it. Behold, the best mon on Season 6, my Minors Season 6 draft. The best mon, the undisputed... the Avatar. Hope you guys enjoyed this draft recap. I will see you here this time. Maybe not this time, but this day, maybe, perhaps. No, I will see you February 16th, which is this Saturday. I will see you this Saturday for Week 1 of the National Pokeball League Minors Division. Your West Virginia Miniors are going for the gold. And we will be taking on Baby Eric, coach of the Baltimore Orioles. Of course, our Week 1 is going to be the person that knocked us out of the tryout tournament. So, I hope you guys really enjoy. I hope you guys like the team. Let me know what you think. And I forgot to say one more thing before I leave. Just to make sure. Just to show you that, you know, I don't care about leaving Pokemon, you know. Like, I don't care about just drafting the strongest Pokemon, just leaving it there. I'm going to give it a Z Crystal, too, because I'm that real. Alright guys, I gotta get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.